Next, we have Craig.
Hi, I'm Craig Herndon. So before I talk about my game studio, I'm first going to talk about Boston VR. So we are basically the mirror image of this group, but in Boston. So I'm the CEO of Boston VR, which is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we also do monthly events and pretty much everything he said at the beginning. We also do that. We're on conference calls with MYVR every month, and we've been working together to bring our communities together. And we actually brought 3 teams from Boston here tonight. So round of applause. And one thing that we found was lacking in VR in general was just coverage in media. Even mainstream media they don't cover VR games, especially indie ones, because they don't bring clicks. So we wanted to at least, like, if they're not going to talk about it, we will. So we created a podcast called the Virtuality Podcast. So if you're doing anything in VR, AR, and you want someone to know about it, please check us out. If you go to virtuality.show, we have a form you can submit. So yeah, just virtuality.show is the website. We also just recently released on Spotify. So we're on Android, iOS, and Spotify as well. So definitely check it out. We actually interviewed Lyron from the Glimpse group last fall. So Digital Precept, it was founded in Memphis, Tennessee. So I'm the oddball that is the only team member, one of 2 team members that are in Boston, but our main office is in Memphis, Tennessee. So Kung Fu Shadow Fist is a reimagination of old side-scroller beat-em-ups. If you ever played Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, it's like, what if this was in VR? And for us, that's all these dudes coming at you, throwing real punches, blocking, moving around. And it's a little bit of a workout, but we try and have an ebb and flow to it. So our team composed of 5 people currently. So we have like VR developers at the enterprise level, as well as people with lots of film background, level designing, and Lee, which I'm going to get to, and going to go, I already went through this. And so initially, like, we got feedback, and this is kind of how we handle feedback as we come to things like this. We've had over 2,000 people play our game at this point, and we have good feedback here, and then we also have bad feedback, right? So it's like, how do you handle that kind of feedback? So the biggest one I want to talk about is how people looked at our game and like, wow, it's fun, love the concept, but it looks like it's made by a bunch of engineers. And I was like, well, you're not wrong. So we then went on a hunt to find someone with some real industry experience, and that's where we found Lee Williamson, who has over 10 years of industry experience in just video game art and art direction. So we hired him on as our art consultant, and he is now the lead artist for our game. And it's kind of turned it from like, this was our initial concept for the fist when you're punching things. And then Lee turned it into this. So it's kind of night and day difference. And that's why I say that what VR needs more than anything right now is VR artists that have familiarity with not just video games, but also with VR, and then can use that to create like very immersive settings. Because really, like, this artwork from here to like this lighting is just night and day different, and it's so much better. So if your team is missing artists, talk to me. There are tons of them in Boston that are looking for positions. So yep. So you can use me just Craig@bostonvr.org. And then also you can just ask DJ, and he can reach out to me as well. So thank you very much.
Yes, and thanks for all the Boston folks coming up.